What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody, man? Thanks for tuning in to the Stuck in Reality podcast with yours truly, Nick Marquis, man. Come on, tune in, get on in here because we've got a lot to talk about today, and it's going to be stemming from the video that I posted earlier from the Ready to Love show with the clip that I had on Facebook, and we're going to dive into that today. Can you handle a truthful man, ladies? Can you handle a truthful man? And I'm going to tell you something, man. You got to be ready for what you say you want. If you want men to be truthful, you got to know what to do with them when you get that man that actually is direct with you, that's actually going to tell you the truth, no matter what, no matter if he even hurts your feelings. Say what's up when you come in. See who we got joining in today, man. Appreciate y'all being patient and sticking with me, man, as we keep on going higher on the podcast. Look, what do y'all think about the video? If you haven't seen the video, I'm about to play that for you once we get a couple more people in here. But I love the feedback I've been hearing from most of you guys, and I love the feedback that people are actually disagreeing as well, because I like to see all perspectives, even though most times you may think that he's getting upset because I don't agree. I actually like to see all feedback. So say what's up when you get in here, man. I want to see who we got in here. Throw some comments down there. Say what's up, where you watching from, because I definitely want to see who's on tonight. I'm finna go ahead and start playing this video. And so you guys, for those of you that didn't see the video, let's go ahead and play that for you guys right now. Check it out.
Ever dated a woman with children?
I have, but I was young.
Ever dated a woman with children?
I have, but I was young. I was like 22. I had a cougar. He had some younger kids. How old is your son?
He's 11.
He's 11.
And from my experience, I told myself I couldn't take a woman with children seriously.
Why?
The child's always gonna come first.
Yes.
The child's gonna always come first. I'm going to always need to put you first, but I come second. And technically, he's a 10-year-old boy who's going to get into his teenage years. He's going to be in a situation where you're not my dad, right? I'm not talking about an anecdotal experience. Your son may be a sweet child, but my experience, it just hasn't been the best.
You have the right to feel however you want about dating a single mom. That's your prerogative, whatever. But you're on a date with a single mom. What are you talking about? Your priority here is supposed to be trying to get a third date. I don't even know why I want a second date with you in this moment.
Realistically, yeah, we can have some fun.
But taking it serious.
It's like taking it seriously is just hard because I don't have to settle. I've done certain things in my life to put me at a certain echelon, to date a certain top tier. Not saying a woman with a child isn't top tier, but like standards wise, is like I like to travel and be like, yo, let's go. Let's go to Miami, let's do this, let's do that. And it's like, let me call my mom and see if she can watch the kid. It's just no real benefit in it for me.
Toya?
Yes.
You didn't ask for another date with him. What was the turnoff?
Specifically, the turnoff was when I asked that question about would you date a single mother? And Jacoby, you proceeded to tell me that basically you're a high value man and you are too good for a single mother. However, you did also tell me that you were raised by a single mother, which is profound for me to think that a single mother's not good enough for you, but it's good enough for a woman to raise you. That's unfair. And it's very insensitive to women out there who have children.
All right, so just because it's a cycle, I wanted to continue.
It doesn't have to continue.
So what I'm saying is that
it's more about why would you cut off and say that single women are not on the same level?
What you're supposed to learn from is history.
So you're a very
intelligent woman. You're a very intelligent woman, right?
Yes.
So if you know as a woman growing up, you know it's the less likelihood for you to be successful by having a child. So what you do, you be more proactive. Using condoms.
What's that got to do with your choice?
Okay, if you're getting pregnant, then all right, cool. Maybe I shouldn't continue having this child because I'm not getting married. a better chance of me having a successful life by finding a man. That's what I'm thinking.
So you were raised by a single mother?
Yes.
Is your mother still alive?
I struggled. My mom's still alive.
Did she struggle or did you struggle?
Both of us struggled.
Okay, so your words that echoed all around social media, and I want to make sure that we have this clearly, were, I'm a high value man. I've done things to step up my echelon, and I'm not going to settle for a single mother.
Yeah,
did I have that correctly? I want to be clear.
Yeah, we settling.
Right.
All right, I'm gonna clip it right there because I didn't want to get too long. So look, he basically broke down to the lady, hey, it's cool. I don't really want to do things seriously with you guys, with you as us being a actual couple, but I'm willing to have fun. And I've noticed that when most men are direct with women that are not used to coming across men that tell the truth, it's very hard for them to grasp a man actually telling them the truth. They look at it as rude. They look at it as him being a ass. They look at him being misogynistic, or they call him sassy, or he's all these other type of things just because he understands what he wants. He said he's built his life up to him so that he can have choices, that he can have options. And anybody in their right mind will want to choose the best option for their lives. You see women do it all the time, saying, hey, I'm not settling for no man that makes this amount of money. I'm not settling for a man that doesn't treat me this way. I'm not settling for a man that has this going on, that has that going on. But when a guy actually says that he's not going to settle, it is demonized. He's misogynistic. He hates women. But it's praised when women do it. And I'm trying to understand, when are we going to recognize that when you meet men like this, these are the men that you really want to be with, but certain circumstances that you take early on in your years, ladies, will keep you from attracting a man like this for a long-term commitment. Now, considering that is the reason why I tell ladies, do not give men sex and children until you're married, because you're going to miss out on good men of value, because your younger years were wasted with the guys that you should not have been with in the first place, because you were too young to actually understand what you really needed in life. That's why I'm here. I'm here to tell you that you don't need to be giving guys sex and children until you marry. I'm here to tell you that, ladies, if you're 22, 23, 24, you don't need to be dating a man that is the same age as you. How can he lead you? How can he guide you through the storms if he hasn't been through the storm that you guys are currently going through together? You guys are going to go through the waves, through the tides, and you guys could possibly drown because you don't have a captain of the ship that knows the actual land, the geographic of the ocean, of the storm that you're going through. And when you don't have a captain to guide the ship properly, that ship will sink. That ship will not stay afloat. And that's what I'm trying to tell y'all today. I'm always preaching this message, but it takes these type of clips for people to actually see that men actually think about this when it comes down to single motherhood. If you have a young child as a single mother, it is going to be extremely hard for you to grasp and grip and keep a man of value. Is it impossible? No, it is not impossible. But you have hurt your chances simply because most men of value think like this young brother right here on this clip. It's going to be hard. What's up, Mel? What's up, Lula? Hey, who else we got out here, man? Y'all say what's up. Because I need y'all to comment, because on this platform, it doesn't actually show me who's actually watching. You'll have to actually comment and let me know that you're in the house. So look, again, this is how most men think when it comes down to single motherhood. Why? Because the hierarchy umbrella has been broken. It's no longer God, man, woman, child in that hierarchy. Then now, when you date a single mother that has young children, it's then God, man, then children, it's really, if in a woman's eyes, it's really God, children, man, then woman. So the kids are going to come before your husband. Even if you marry him, you're going to put your kids, most will, not all, most will put their children before their husband if those children came as a result of another man or another marriage. So that's why most men don't take the risk on single motherhood. That's why I do not encourage men to do it, because it is high risk. If that child is not getting ready to either graduate or graduate in the next year or something like that, I don't advise it. And it's not because those women are bad women. It's just that it is a high risk on a man to accept that type of responsibility. High risk and low reward in most cases, if not all. So again, you heard how the women demonized this preference at the end, and I wanted to keep playing the video, but it was just going too long for me, and I didn't want to lose you guys. But at the end, the lady, even the co-host, the host, even tried to demonize his preference by saying, you were raised by a single mother, so why wouldn't you want to date a single mother? And I found that very rich, because it's like, what if, why would I want the trend to continue just because my mother was a single mother? That would be just like saying, if my mother was a crack addict, do I want to continue being a crack addict just because my mother was one? Or what if my mother was, a dope fiend? Do I still want to be, do I want to continue that trend on? What are we saying? Do not do that, ladies. I got a question for the ladies out there. Ladies, for single mothers specifically, would you tell your son that has worked hard to be a doctor, lawyer, or a high earner in any kind of field, would you tell your son to actually marry a woman with children, or would you advise them to start a family of their own? What would you do? What would you tell your son to do? Because I've asked this question and I've gotten some crazy answers on that. So I want to hear what some of y'all think out there. What would you do if your son has worked to become a man of value, and became a accomplished man and high earner and a good man in society? What would you prefer your son to do? Would you prefer him to start a family of his own, or would you prefer him to marry a single mother like yourself? I want to know the answer to that question. We can keep on. Respectfully, start from the ground up. Thank you, Rachel. Rachel Nolan. That's it, man. Do not doom your sons just because you got it wrong. This will tell your kids a lot about who you are. This will tell other people about a lot about who you are, simply because you should want the best for your children. So I can respect that answer. But if you feel different, put on here, man, then give us your viewpoint on why you think, they should do the other side, and then we'll talk about it. But uh she tried to tell him the host tried to tell him he wasn't a high value man, because she thought him being high value was based off of him. He based being high value off driving a nice car. She thought he based high value off of his bank account. Like, don't get me wrong, money is an important piece to being high value, but it is not the only piece. You hear me tell men all the time, having enough money is not enough. Fellas, you got to have soft skills. You got to learn how to communicate. You got to have time management skills. You got to have conflict resolution skills. All of these skills will make you sexier to women. I cannot tell you, man, it how it makes you look so sexy when you know how to de-escalate a situation without raising your voice. When you know how to manage time, when you know how to manage finances, when you know how to manage family, when you know how to man, a woman finds that so sexy. Cops, FN cops, do not. What? I'm comparing a trend. I definitely want to tell my son dating a woman with kid is a good woman, whether she have kids or not. Now I do think that if she got 5 too many women, I don't see the issue. So you would advise? So you mean to tell me, London Charles, what's up? You mean to tell me that you would advise your son, if she has 1 or 2 kids, you would advise him to say, yeah, that's the thing to do. That's the thing to do. Instead of starting his family from the ground up, you would advise your son to to go into an already made family if she's a good woman. See, this is it. This is it. This is it, folks. Pay attention. Pay attention. And no, I'm not. Don't take this in a disrespectful way because we're just having a conversation. But I want people to actually see this because we as a people have gotten so selfish, and we've gotten to the point to where we will try to make our sons follow in the same footsteps as us. And this is the happy generation. Everything is about happiness, and nothing is about duty, and nothing is about what's actually right. Like, what are you doing? At least he can see that she know how to be a good mother. A mother, what? She can be a mother to his children, though. But you see, that's where we go wrong at. We've gotten so bad, we've gotten so messed up until we'll tell we're raising the actual kids of like to be the men that you say that you hate. You're raising your sons up to be the men that you say that you actually hate. When you advise them to do this type of stuff, you know the right way, you know what's right, but you would actually tell your son to actually, wow, 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 wow. No, I'm reading. I'm actually reading. It nothing makes it look better. You telling me to read, but nothing makes you look better. You're sitting here on here telling me that you would tell your son that has worked extremely hard and built himself up as a high value man to have options. There it is, folks. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. You cannot make it up. This is why men are needed in the home. This is why fathers are needed at home. Fellas, let me tell you right now, man. This is the reason why we have to watch who we have children with. We have to watch how we go around here just having sex, man, because it could end up your child could end up being placed in wrong direction. I get it, and I respectfully disagree with what you're saying, and it ain't no hard feelings, but but I can't let that go on and not say anything, because you understand, London, that if your son that has worked so hard to become the accomplished man that he wants to be comes home, and she has a little daughter, he comes home and the wife is not there, and they're there for hours, and the wife comes home, all that little girl has to do is said that Mr. So and so touched me. Oh my God, it is going down. That man is actually guilty already until proven innocent. Not innocent until proven guilty. He's already guilty. He's already guilty. Well, I get it that you're raising a black young man, but it, okay, so you should understand. And I'm sorry that happened to you, but you should understand where I'm coming from. That it is a high risk for a man to raise another man's child. He is putting himself in danger. You should be able to relate. No, absolutely. I'm reading the comments. I'm actually reading the comments, and nothing makes it look better. Nothing makes it look better. Like, for real, man. We've gotten so to where just because it's like, just because we're single, if you're a single parent, it's like you try to justify it with, as long as my son is gonna be happy. No, man, you should want your son to actually do what you didn't do, to not follow in those footsteps. Like, I don't want my daughter to make the same mistakes that I made. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, even if you're not, you should want your children to actually not make the same mistakes as you or somebody else. You see how hard it is as single parents right now. Like, why would you want your son to even? It's bad, man. That's bad. It's bad. Rachel said, and I feel this way solely because a man is expected to be the breadwinner. If my son is established, we teach our children our own seed differently for what we want somebody else's for ourselves. I can't allow my son to fail just for being a great man. If he does marry a woman with kids, I will also educate my son on prenup. I'm a single mom, and I refuse to have my girls to be a single mom until they find a great man. I refuse. And what I'm saying is, I'm going to educate him on everything. Now, it's going to be his choice, but I'm not going to lead him in that direction. I'm not going to lead him in that direction. I'm going to tell him, son, you should start a family of your own. Now, it's your decision. It's your decision. And I'm going to expect for him to make a wise decision in doing so. But I'm going to lead him down the path that he should go. Now, if he makes another decision, that's going to be solely on him. But I'm not going to tell him to do it. That's what I'm saying. I'm not going to tell him to do that. And that's what, man, think about it. So think about it, London. Question. So if he marries this woman with these other children or a child, he does not even, he has all the responsibility of raising that child, right? But he has no authority over that child. He cannot discipline that child like he would have been able to discipline that child had that child been his own. Then you have that woman saying, no, you can't hit my child. You can't tell my child that he can't have his iPad that his dad bought. You can't tell my child that he can't have his phone that I bought. You can't tell my child that he can't go outside. What are we doing? He has all the responsibility, but no authority. And responsibility without authority is pure slavery. That means that you're going to be able to hold that over that man's head. That child is going to be able to hold that over that man's head, and he's going to be able to play him against the mother the whole time. Just telling you. See, your stepdad had authority. That's your experience. That's your experience. But most don't. Ask a woman now, can I discipline that child like he my own? If I think that child needs a reprimand, or if I think that child needs to be put in timeout, or if I think that child needs to be grounded, or if I think that child needs to take his iPad, man, watch what happens. I'm telling you. But see, here's the thing. If had it been my own child, I wouldn't have to ask you because you can't pull rank. He's my son just like he's yours. So it wouldn't even be a conversation. Nah, we done got too far out of hand, man. We just doing stuff, man. And you wondering why these kids grow up how they grow up is because we have too much happiness teachings, man. It's all about happy, just happy, happy, happy. And we're not teaching them the right way, the structured way, on the way that they should go, the way that they should handle things, the way they should approach life, the way they should approach relationships. We just giving them the if you happy, if it make you happy, what? Do you know how many relationships, how many divorces have come from people just not actually being happy? That's the problem today. No one has duty. Everybody trying to just be happy. No one has duty to the children. Man, if he can't discipline a child, she shouldn't have married him. Both parents can agree to discipline full parents or not. Man, you know that ain't happening. Y'all can cut that out. Y'all can cut that out. In most cases, you're not going to be able to whoop that child of that woman. In most cases, I get it. Some do happen. It happens, some, but not most. That exactly, Rachel. I'm not saying don't that because he's going to make the decision on his own. The child is going to make the decision on his own. I'm just saying that it's not going to be the way that I tell him to go in the first way. Like, hey, go this route. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I'm going to tell him his first choice should be starting his family on his own. Whatever decision he makes from there, that's solely on him. Solely on him. But why? My question is, is that we'll sit here and advise our children to go down that path. I'm going to tell him to whatever makes him happy. No, you tell him the right way, and then you let him make the decision on his own. But you're supposed to be the parent that leads and guides him. Well, that's what you just said, though. You said that you would tell them whatever makes them happy if that's what they want to do. Like, no, your comment, your comment should have been, "No, I'm gonna tell him to start his own family, and then if he chooses to do that, then that's his choice." Absolutely, I get it. I get it. So check this out. So even when he was breaking down how it would be settling for him to actually do that, you could actually see in the video where they actually was trying to demonize this man for his preferences. And what I'm saying is, this is what we have to go through as actual. Now I'm gonna come to actually a minute. Rachel said, I have male friends, and I speak highly of telling those single ones not to jump into a step parent role when they have no clue on how to be responsible for one child, and two, it gets ugly if the child's father is in the picture in the negative light. We ain't even got to talking about if the male is involved and he don't want you, then you got to deal with the father. Man, we ain't even go down that road. Then you got to deal with the father, man, the dad of the child. Man, they don't understand. They don't understand, man. And we're not saying that. I think when people hear that you don't need to, you wouldn't tell your kids, you shouldn't tell your kids to jump into an already made family. It's like we bashing single mothers. We're not bashing single mothers. We're not saying that single mothers are bad people. We're just saying that if we're going to get things back in order, restored to order, we have to teach our kids the right way first. Now, you got to let them decide what they want to do on their own. And that's good for you guys. And I hope that, that's great. But that's not ideal. And what I'm trying to say is that things need to be back restored to where we don't have to even do that. We start a family, we stick to that family, and we give sex and children to the men, to men that you're married to and we try to build a family based on the core values that keep us together. It's the vows that you quoted, not this. If I ain't happy and I got kids now, your happiness is out the door. It's about them kids. What you gonna do about them kids? You have a duty to those children. So yeah, man. But this is good that we having a conversation, because people need to hear these type of conversations, man. When you converse like this, man, I don't think enough of these conversations are had, because it's a subject where people actually don't want to actually address, because it's a touchy subject. But our children need to actually understand and hear the viewpoints on both sides, the pros and the cons, to where they actually uh can see what they should be doing and what they shouldn't be doing. Nick, your topic are the most positive debating ever. Thanks, I appreciate that. I wish everybody felt that way, but I appreciate that, man. I'm just trying to shed light on what's going on in our Black community, and teach us that we don't have to continue the trend. Excuse me. Just because your mother was a single mother does not mean that you should be teaching your sons to go down that same path and date single mothers without starting their own families. You should be teaching them the right way, even though you made poor decisions in your life, or divorce came, or you made mistakes. You should be teaching your children the right way when it comes down to them starting relationships and starting a family. That's all I'm trying to say. So it's kind of like, when you meet a man that's actually direct, what are you going to actually do? Let's jump back on here. Let's jump back on this topic. When you meet a man that's actually honest and direct, what are you going to do? And what I've seen mostly from women, what I've seen mostly from women is most women that are not used to meeting men that tell the truth and that's going to be brutally honest with them, they actually don't know what to do. I'm gonna tell you what they do. They actually punish the truth just like they punish a lie. And I call that lie welcoming behavior, because you cannot punish the truth the same as you punish the lie. That's why most men lie in the first place, because it's like they saying, man, I'm messed up if I do, I'm messed up if I don't. I might as well lie to get me more time. Here, now, don't get me wrong. I don't condone lying because I don't do it at all. But what I'm saying is you cannot punish the truth just like you punish the lie. At some point, you're going to have to mature. At some point, you're going to have to say, hey, this guy is actually a man that's not scared of telling me the truth, not going to tell me what I want to hear. That's the man that you want. It's kind of like me telling the women last couple of weeks ago that you just can't wear anything out in public and be looked at as a wife, and be taken seriously as a wifely woman, because the clothes that you wear creates an assumption, which creates perception. It's no different than telling our girls not to be quick to sell it for a man with kids and has a low paying job and has financial problems. In the real world, not many women looking past things. I was raised by a single father, so I'm proof of what a woman can't look past. Absolutely. It's the same thing. And actually, Jacoby on that show, he pointed that out on how it would be different if a woman said this, and a woman didn't want to date a man that was 5'8", and a woman didn't want to date a man that was overweight, all that stuff. He pointed that out. And that's what I was trying to actually explain, that when men actually have preferences, they're demonized, and when women have preferences, they're praised, and that's not cool. If you want a man that has his stuff together, he's going to be a man that requires you to get on his program. He's going to be a man that knows what he wants. He's going to be a man that can actually look you dead in your eye and tell you the truth, and don't care how you take it, because he knows what works. He has a vision, he has a provision, he has guidelines, he has structure, he has discipline to his life. These type of men, can you handle those type of men? Because if you get mad at a man for being direct with you, that means that you like those other men that's just gonna tell you what you want to hear for the time being and just use you and then just be on about their way. You can't say that men are no good and all of this and all of that when you find a man that will not do what the other men are doing. Now he's sassy. Now he's misogynistic. Now he's all these other things, simply because he wouldn't tell you what you really wanted to hear. It don't work like that. Men of value, we understand. We understand that you need to hear these things. I'm gonna tell y'all something. A lot of y'all need to be looking for men that have similar values to your fathers. If you now I understand that a lot of people did not grow up with their fathers in their lives, and I'm sorry to hear that. And I don't want to just be oblivious to that. But if you had a father or a good father figure in your life, he's going to tell you some of the things that I tell you on this podcast. He's going to tell you most of the things that I tell you. Don't dress provocatively, so men can take you serious. Man, don't be out here being masculine, loud. Don't be, don't be, combative. Don't be rude. Don't be. He's going to tell you these things. And if you don't have anyone in your life that's going to tell you that, man, look, you're not wanting a real man. You're wanting a male, not a man. And I'm gonna tell you something. That's going to get old. And what else is going to get old? Men looking at you just for sex is going to get old, because your body is going to get old. It has a time frame on it. It's going to spoil. And when that goes away, it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough, because men are physical first. So I'm trying to tell you these things, man, just so you can stay aware. But can you handle a truthful man? That's the question today. Can you actually handle a man that's direct with you? What does that look like? What does that sound like? Can you even identify a man of value? Not just somebody out here playing around. Don't be so independent. It took 29 years to understand what they meant. Hey, sometimes it takes a while, man, but you got to get it. And when you get it, you got to try to capitalize on the information that you do have, and try to flip the coin and try to attack that thing head on, man, and get out here and adjust your life to what you now know, and try to attract that man of value. That's the whole goal. Because most of you have been so used to being around toxic relationships so long that you really can't identify a good disciplined man. You don't even know what it looks like. You don't know what it sounds like. You really don't know what real love is, because you're so used to somebody telling you what you want to hear for the first 3 to 6 months, and then they go on about their business. I'm a challenge y'all, man. Real love should be shown, not talked about. If you show real love so much, you don't even have to tell people that you love that you love them all the time. They gonna already know. They gonna already feel it. That's the type of thing that these men that I'm talking about bring. The man that I'm talking about that you want in your life, he brings peace. Therefore, you have to be peaceful. Just saying. Can you handle a truthful man? Can you handle a direct man? Can you handle a man that's going to say, "Nah, that's too much. I don't think you should wear that"? Or do you see that as controlling? Or do you see that as insecure? This was good tonight, man. Make sure that you're not out here actually. Make sure that you understand how men think. Single mothers out here, make sure that it's not the end of the world just because you have a child, but you have to work harder. Yes, you have to work harder. And a lot of women don't want to look at this as a competition. Call it what you want. You have to work harder than a woman with no children. That's younger, that has less trauma, that has less. You got to work harder. So that means you have to be more feminine. That means that you have to be more peaceful. It means that you have to be more respectful. That means you have to have high admiration for him. That man of value. Yes, you have to have those things in abundance. That's just how it is. It's just the way it goes. So look, man, this was good tonight. Comment, make sure you like, share, and you know, heart this video. Make sure that you guys actually listen to the content to actually let it help you, not for it to be so offensive. I see a lot of people taking offense to the things that I say, especially ladies, when I'm actually giving you the keys and the cheat code to relationships as it regards to men. Take this as a guide. Take this as a cheat code. Take this as a resourceful tool that you can use in the sexual marketplace to get what you need out of the marketplace. Because right now, it is the hardest ever. It is the hardest ever in the dating market right now. And I'm gonna tell you, man, I'm glad that I'm not out there, man, having to search and find for someone right now, because it's rough. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing right now, because I can actually tell you what it looks like. I can actually tell you what it feels like. I can actually tell you what it sounds like. I can actually tell you, men, I can actually tell you what you should be getting from your woman. How does that feel? We're going to talk next week. Hopefully this will be up next week. It depends on how I feel. But we're going to talk to the men on how a peaceful, how a good woman, how a peaceful woman, uh, how important she is to your life, what she brings to your mental health, what she brings to your overall happiness, your overall ability to actually bring home the bread and go out to the workspace happy and come home happy and leave home happy. We're going to talk about that type of stuff. But until we meet again, make sure you tune in every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, with yours truly, Nick Marquis, the founder of Stuck in Reality Podcast. Man, look, this has been fun. This has been good. Uh, this has been very informative, and I hope that everybody understands that I'm here to help you. I'm not here to offend you. I'm not here to tear you down. I'm here to actually give you some insight on what you need to do to get the best results from the sexual marketplace. This is where you learn how to become the best version of yourself. And I promise that I'll be the one that do whatever to help you become that person. If you need to inbox me, you need to hit me up to see, get advice to, and how to vet and how to actually, what men think and how they think and how they move. And fellas, if you need to hit me up, fellas, don't be scared to hit me up too, fellas. Hit me up, man. Ask questions, man. Inbox me, hit me up in the DMs, man, and ask questions. I know I've been talking about starting the live Zooms where we actually get on face to face with men and women on a actual platform, which is using the Zoom platform, and we're going to talk to each other about these topics. And I want to actually hook some of these single people up, man. Yes, the women that are feminine, that are cooperative, that are respectful, that want to be married. I want to hook you up with men that want marriage. I want to hook you up with men that actually want to protect, provide, secure, that actually want to bring discipline and structure to your lives as men. I want to be able to do that for you guys out there, man. So we're going to be doing that real soon. And I want to see you guys jump on it. I want y'all to participate, ladies and fellas, because it's going to be a good thing for the Black community, man. Anytime that we can get somebody married, anytime that we can get people to stay together long term, we're winning. We're winning, man. So again, every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time with yours truly, Nick Marquis, man. I'm up out of here, man. Peace. Until we meet again. Let's stay stuck in reality.